Hello, my beauties. Hang on, let me lift you guys up higher. I hate when you're like looking up at someone like into their nostrils when you're on Zoom. How are you? I am coming to you live using StreamYard. And welcome. Hold on, let me close one thing on my other. Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, say hi as you come in. Greetings, greetings. I'm still getting ready. How are you? I'm set up in a weird way today, so I'm a bit worried that I have the light straight in front of me. You can see it like it's pretty bright, but it's like up, and I'm afraid that Percival, okay, I hope he doesn't think I'm calling him. If he jumps, he'll knock over my light, and then you'll just see like weird, I don't know, pyrotechnics, and you'll know, okay, something happened. So today, hey, as you're just coming in, say hi. Greetings, greetings. Let me know you're here, who you are. All right, I'm pretty comfortable. I'm set up in a totally different place, and that can, to go live on YouTube, that can be a little weird. May end up regretting it. Who knows? All right, I see a couple of folks coming in. Welcome, welcome. Hey, it's Yogini Viv here. I'm going to do angel card draws, which is it's like a one-word sort of advice on what's going on. I'm going to do that. And I also thought for today's live, I was really getting just to talk to you a little bit about food. I'm looking at what I put on my thumbnail. I put chakras, energy, food. I'll probably change that. I just want to share with you because it's been on my mind how just our eating food for myself, as well as, like I said, that's the sense that I get that I'm supposed to share with you. And so where to start? First of all, today is like a rainy, kind of overcast day, and I've been doing a lot of reading and just like spiritual reading, and it's kind of relaxing. So it's been nice. It's been really, really nice. Hey, if you're just joining, share in the it's in the comments or the chat, the live chat where you're from. We're going to talk about a little bit, just sharing in general to the consideration of how food affects us. Okay, let me know what type of content you like best on my channel, so I kind of know who's live here. What are you interested in? But Spirit just was bringing to my attention just that we need to focus on how important our food is. Okay, I think many of us, and you may not, but we all do to some degree. Okay, so let me start. We eat for pleasure, which is good, right? Of course, you want your food to taste good. You want your food to taste nice. I want to say, especially probably in a lot of developed countries, because we have such a variety of food, we literally can eat something totally different every day, okay? And we can really like whatever appeals to us. Oh, I want sushi today. Oh, I want Indian food. Oh, okay, I'm going to make like what my mom would make. I'm going to have Caribbean food today, and I'm going to have some fish and maybe some plantains on the side, some rice and beans or something. We can eat anything, right? When you're from a more like privileged country, you have a really wide choice of food, and so you can really eat for taste. Like I was reading that a lot of folks in Brazil, and I know this is not meant to be a stereotype, but I know a lot of parts of the world, people's food choices are more narrow. And so they may really eat their heritage foods all the time. Like I was listening to somebody talk about, actually, I think it was Krishan talking about in some country in South America, right? And she's like, if I loved rice and beans and plantains, and I was like, oh my God, that's actually my diet. rice. I like black beans and with fried plantains, fried sweet plantains. Point being, so what is the point of that? I don't believe our physiology was made to necessarily to eat for flavor and for taste variety only. Okay, I'm not explaining that well. Let me explain what I mean. I think we just need to focus more on our nutrition. So say hi if you're here. Hey, don't lurk. Don't lurk. Say hi. Stop what you're doing. Wash your hands. Dry your hands. Say hi in the chat. Let me know, is it morning? Is it night? Where are you? Are you in Japan, where I think are you in Australia? Whole other day. Where are you? Where are you watching from? Are you in California? Where are you? So what I'm saying is I think many of us, especially in the Black community, don't take our food as seriously. And again, it's just been observation. I was watching another wonderful YouTuber talking about how she really doesn't like vegetables or like fruits, vegetable, like maybe you shouldn't say fruits, but vegetables. And it was, and they've said this a couple times, like I'm just about the meat, right? And my point is, Goddess, if you are interested in your meditation, spirituality, higher consciousness, and this is going to be controversial, but when I get more detail, but you have to watch what you put into your body. We have to watch what we put into our bodies, okay? We have to regard our bodies as temples, as homes for our spirit, and not just like I just eat what I want when I want, okay? Hey, hi, Lydia. Welcome, Goddess. So, yes, say hi, say hi, say hi. Ohio, yep, next time zone over. Wait, no. You are in Eastern time. I always mix this up. I think Ohio is in Eastern or Central. It's Eastern or Central. I don't know. Our food is really important, okay? I'm coming from this yogic perspective, but many religions, what do they do? Often at the high point of the year, they fast, right? So that alone tells you, why does almost every religion have a point of the year, at least once, where they fast? Because food has a huge impact on our spiritual development. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, because my brain can do, like, it's doing two totally different things. One part of my brain is like, well, they're going to say, well, I know some of you, they say, the Dalai Lama, I think he eats meat, and Buddhists eat meat. Okay. Now, there's many responses to that. Of course, it depends on many things. So let me go through it. Okay, I'm just going to kind of go through all the different layers and levels. One, of course, if you live in a place where you're not growing citrus fruit, you're not, getting apples and bananas and whatnot, and it is brutal winters and it's like animal meat that you can get, obviously, then those people are going to eat more meat. And at the same time, when you talk about people who are very highly developed, they may be able to process and handle, a particular diet. But again, it might simply be necessity, not what's necessarily best. Let me know what you think so far, what I'm sharing. So what I just really want to say is for all of us to pay more attention to our food. If you're in the West, where most of my viewers are, you're in America, Canada, England, Australia, and a lot of people in India watch me, watch some of the videos, right? Specific ones, I guess. We eat for just flavor. What I'm saying to you, if you are a spiritual person, hey, if you're just joining, if you're a spiritual person, you need to watch what you eat. You need to be aware and almost test your body to see how it responds to what you eat. Don't just eat for flavor. Don't just eat like, oh, these are vegan. Oh, yeah, so I'm a vegan. This is going to be healthy, right? A lot of these pre-packaged foods, they're still manufactured foods. Now, I have some in my freezer. I have very rarely. But what we can do is test it for yourself. Like eliminate something that you already have a sense is like troublesome for you, right? Take it out of your diet for like a week, even 2 weeks, I would say. And then try to notice how you feel and then put it back. Often that's when you'll notice that something is troublesome, right? It's like if you stop it, sometimes you don't always notice because basically you have a lot of buildup of what's called ama in your body. Ama just means like gunk, it would be like cellular debris. Like we can store in our fat tissues, especially, we can store, and that's the beauty of the body. We can store toxins and things that we didn't really break down properly, right? We didn't like burn them, we store them. And of course, some storage is good. So let me know like what diet, and then I'm going to pull some card draws. Okay. But what is your diet in general? Are you like plants? Are you like carnivore, but lots of veggies? Are you like no carbs? Let me know. Again, this is really important because I know a lot of you love my channel for the chakra videos. And so to tie this in with the chakras, okay, it does connect. When you eat food that is too heavy, right, and that you can't digest well, sorry guys, I'm like covered with cat hair. It makes it harder for us to meditate. And that's been my I've been doing like 28 days of like, decided not to do every day. It was just too much and overwhelming. um, but connecting in with mindfulness and the benefits of mindfulness. So it's very hard for you to meditate, and why that's important, to feel peace, to feel inner peace, to feel your higher self, if you eat food that is too heavy for you to digest. Because what literally happens, it's like almost on a physiological level, like the effort your body takes to break down food that's too heavy kind of dulls your mind. Okay, let me know if you've heard this, if you knew this. Hang on, and did I get cut off? Okay, no, I don't think I did. You know this? Now, some of you practice yoga, you probably knew this. Or if you're like, physical therapist, or you're like into fitness, you might already know this, that the quality of your food has a real impact on your now the West is seeing it as gut health. But again, this is thousands of years old. Again, in all religions, why does every single religion have at least one time a year, if not more, where they're fasting, right? And people who don't, like, it's not an organized religion, it's a more what am I trying to say, like, not pagan, but just like pre the big religions, they would still have times where they might do a little bit of fasting and cleansing or take herbs. Even like in Jamaica, where I'm from, I've mentioned this in other videos, we would have, I forget what time of year it was. I think it was like the springtime, but it's warm all the time, if I remember right. But we would drink Sirisi tea, which is a really, really bitter tea, like horribly bitter, right? It's called Sirisi. And it was just to cleanse our bodies. So those of you who do yoga, I'm talking especially to you, those of you who want to, like, your higher self and get more intuitive, and I'm even going to say get more psychic, because I know that's what many of you are interested in. I don't like the word psychic, I like intuitive, same thing. But you really have to watch your food. If you eat a lot of junk food, a lot of denatured, where nutrients but life force has been stripped out of it. I know I haven't watched a lot of Is It Dr. Sebi, because I'm already like was already very aware of this, like when I started um practicing yoga. Like, yogic thought is that we should be vegetarian. That can include dairy, but the dairy should be from, like, not cows that are like being basically tortured and forced to like give milk continuously. We're talking like the way if you had a cow, you'd have the cow, right? You milk a little, the cow's just in the field, happy, whatever. You get milk, you're not like overproducing from the cow, right? The cow isn't pumped with hormones. The cow is not like bleeding. The cow is not like separated from little babies, all of that. So yogic thought was that dairy was fine, healthy, clean dairy was fine. And then, mostly like vegetarian food. Okay. Because it would allow you to meditate more easily, keep the body nice and clean, nice and healthy. So do comment, and then I definitely want to get your feedback. I want to know what you think about this. Is this something you think about at all? Or is this something you're just not even thinking about because you've got other stuff going on? Let me know. Let me know. I see there's 6 of you right now that are here. Okay, it shows me the numbers. So Lydia has shared. Who else is here? I want to know what you think. I want to know what you think, okay? In fact, I'm going to stop. I'm going to wait for you. I'm going to stop and have my It's actually not hot. Fennel, ginger, and turmeric tea that I made. Mm, okay. And a lot of folks watching the replay. But let me see. Lydia says, I try not to limit myself to a certain diet. Yep. Everything in moderation. Yes. And even moderation. Lydia, you could have moderation and moderation. Yeah. And I notice that when I feel grateful for what I have, I feel better no matter what I'm eating. Okay. Absolutely. Yeah. Like, gratitude before you eat. Yeah, like a prayer or simply having a sense of gratitude and pausing. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And actually, Lydia, thank you because that reminds me of something I wanted to share. My soulful mindfulness, my meditation training, and that also includes acupressure points, right? We'll do different points on the body for stress, for better sleep, all of that, along with learning mindfulness. I'm having 3 bonuses, and one of them, to Lydia's point, is I'm making a mindful eating, like just mini presentation. So if you enroll in the Soulful Mindfulness program, which closes on, where's my calendar? It's on October 3rd. I'm going to close it. You will get a bonus. You'll get 2 bonuses I've just added. And again, it's a mindful eating, like it'll be a really pretty PDF and an audio guide where I guide you through a eating meditation, eating mindfully. So like what Lydia said about when I'm grateful, I notice that I feel better when I feel grateful for what I have. That is actually part of eating mindfully. So thank you, Lydia. Thank you for saying that because that reminded me that I wanted to mention that. There are 2 other bonuses I'm also giving for those who enroll, like before the 3rd, obviously, when we close. One is you'll get to choose one of 3. I'm going to make printable art pieces. You guys know I'm an artist. And it's going to be like meditation art. I haven't decided what it's going to be yet. I'm going to make 3 different prints, and you'll get to choose one of the 3. You'll give the file so you can print it, and I'll make them so they can print up to 18 by 24, so they can print big. And then the bonus that's limited is you'll get a 30-minute free coaching, private coaching with me on how to integrate mindfulness meditation from the program into your life. Like as I get to know you over the course of the Soulful Mindfulness over the 8 weeks, right? We can talk about at the end of it, if you are one of the 3, I have 3 slots left. I will help you. We'll talk about how to continue your meditation practice, depending on if you have any illnesses, if you're going through divorce, if you have a toxic job. It's basically a coaching session where we talk about how you can continue your spiritual practice. So do check that out. That's over on my website. And I'm going to put the link in the chat, the Soulful Mindfulness, which is my beautiful program to help us reclaim our calm, is my new tagline, because it's crazy out in these streets right now. It really is. I Don't get me started. I don't want to talk about politics. Also, again, I know it's affecting you. You may not feel it's affecting you, Goddess, but it is, because if you're human, we are all in the same energy. We are all in the same energy. And hello, hi, Divine Masculine, Gregory. Hey, welcome, Greg. Yeah, I was just sharing about food and how it can affect our spiritual growth, Greg. And I remember actually something you mentioned. I'm just looking at your little picture, which is tiny in the sidebar, and the high Viv. Yeah, I remember you had said something just health wise. And so, yeah, I really just want to emphasize for our community, especially, but everybody's eating bad. Okay, if you're in the US, you're eating bad. I mean, not everyone, but again, it's what the crap they put in our food. That literally keeps your mind dull. And at the higher level, it keeps you from experiencing higher states. And so one of my teachers is an Indian man who he's probably in his 80s. I don't even know. He's very mellow. You can feel him conserving his energy, but his mind is sharp, his skin smooth and everything. And he was talking about that, yeah, that wisdom that we all want, that inner wisdom to know what is the right thing for us to do, what is the right action, who should we associate with, who do we need to cut out of our lives, who's dangerous, who's safe, who's going to elevate us. Our food affects all of that. Okay. So Gregory, I want to know what you think about that since you just entered the room. Um, yeah. What do you guys think of that? We have to start looking at our food. And I'm going to say something that, again, might offend some people. It would be better to eat less for your spiritual growth and your health. It'd be better to eat less, because some of you are thinking, well, organic food is expensive. It absolutely is. Any kind of food is expensive. Your food does not have to be organic. I'm just saying put in more foods with prana. Prana means life force. Prana means if you had a seed from that thing, you could grow more. Think about what that means, right? And again, I'm not saying you have to be vegetarian. I don't think everybody has to be vegetarian. But when a really basic, ridiculous example, if you put a slab of meat in the ground, nothing's going to happen. It cannot regenerate itself. Okay, think about what that means on a higher level. While if fruit was not genetically engineered, right? In fact, because I was looking at something again with South America, and the person's like, they spit out seeds or they threw something, they come back and there's like a bush growing. They're like, oh, because they're not from South America, so they're like stunned that it drops in the ground, right? And that it's coming up. So I'm saying that's what's called prana. That's life force. It has the ability to generate more and more, right? Think about what that means. So I'm just saying put more of that in your diet. If you want to have a really sharp mind, clarity of mind, and be able to navigate all this, BS that's going on that we're living in right now with like craziness, with crazy people and people doing crazy ass stuff, and nature, right? Nature is going haywire. Are you with me on this? Nature is going haywire. Everything goes haywire. Everything goes out of rhythm. Okay. And so as things, I'm basically signaling a warning bell. As things go out of rhythm, as things get more disordered, you are going to want to be more clear-headed, more aware, and to have more energy. You could even tap it back to 2020, to the I don't know. Are we not allowed to say that? A lot of YouTubers are scared to say that. But back to the pandemic, some people were fine even with the injection. Some people were fine that got COVID. And yes, there might be different sensitivities we don't scientifically know yet. But what I'm saying is a lot of it is your immune system. How strong is your immune system? Your immune system is food is what makes our body. This body is made from the food. Without food, the physical aspect of you is done. So the food you put in is what's going to break down and make everything you think of you as you. Food is a huge part of that. The only reason I hesitate there is yogically also it's breath, right? And just life energy and then, like spirit, right? But we're also physical. So we're electromagnetic beings. Watch that video if you haven't watched it yet. I think her name was Sandra Herlock, something like that. We are electromagnetic beings, but that food, we're energetic beings. The food that we take in, if it's stale, so you really want to avoid stale food. Like if food sits for 4 days, and you'd be like, the West is like, yeah, it's the nutrients, like just, it's no longer fresh. But again, we would call this prana, which is a name for like life force. So you want to eat your food as fresh as possible. You need some raw food. I'm not a believer that you have to have all raw food. Some people are, like raw and juicing, but you want to have some. I've known people, and that's why I'm sharing about this in my family. I'm talking about right now, and this family member is older than me, yes. But so this is from observation of students, of just people as a yoga teacher. If you don't eat fresh foods or vegetables, it'll be fine for a while, but then it catches up with you. Okay, it catches up with you. And so that's why I said, I was like, when this other person who I respect on YouTube has said over and over, yeah, I'm not doing that. And again, not saying they have to be vegetarian, but they were like, I'm not eating the vegetables. It's got to be meat, meat, meat. It's we're, it's like think of like a lion, right? Each animal has its natural diet. As humans, we were blessed to have I believe, the ability to have a wider diet, right? But you wouldn't argue with like cats. I always give this example. Maybe I'm going to go back to lions. They are carnivores, right? Their body was designed, and they're also not trying to evolve. They're not having to solve complex problems. You know what I'm saying? We're human. Okay, so we're human, and we have that ability to live at kind of the base level. I'm going to go there. Let's bring in the chakras a little bit. Um, as I was sort of just doing some reading this morning too, something I hadn't thought about in terms of food and the chakras, um, was another very renowned teacher was sharing that people who are exclusively at the root chakra level, they eat not even for taste, but for just keeping their body going. They're less even affected by taste. It's more at the second chakra, which has to do with taste and sensuality and like pleasure, that you start to care about the taste of the food and the flavor of the food. So if you there are different levels of consciousness. And if you really want to just expand your consciousness, if you want to develop greater clarity of mind, then do look at your diet and just add more. I'm not saying you have to be 100% vegetarian at all, but the vast majority of us, again, in this country, because our food is basically polluted. Having said that, I want to give us back personal responsibility, because that's what I started to say. It'd be better to eat less and buy better food, but have less food. Trust me on that. So you might be slimmer, but you're going to have more energy, because the quality of what you're putting into your body is going to be higher. Because what I see a lot of people do, and I will never forget, is somewhere online, early days of online, she's like, oh, it's not my fault. We're so poor. All I can afford is potatoes and rice. And she was like, and I'm like, yeah, you can't, if you can afford rice, you can afford some beet, like you can balance it out. Yeah, it's not going to be a fancy diet, right? Again, much of the world eats very simple food. Then you see some of them, they're actually healthier than Americans. And before I take your comments, a lot of the folks I'm watching who are moving abroad, specifically Europe, they're mentioning, because a lot of things that are banned, they're banned there. We have here in America in our food. And they're saying things like, when I'm over there, I'm able to eat the pasta. I don't get bloated. I'm not having gas. Like, what is that? Like, that's wheat, but then we have wheat. Like, why, or how come I can have some milk over there and I can have some cheese and it's just not bothering me? I'm not getting diarrhea. Not to get too graphic, I'm not personally, but they're noticing differences in the food because the food is fresher and is not toxified. It is not genetically modified, made in a lab kind of thing. So anyway, let me look at what you're saying. So Lydia, I love what you shared, that when you feel grateful, you notice you feel better. That is fabulous. Gregory says, I've been having some pain in my elbow lately. I was thinking that if I ate a bit differently, it would help. Yeah, it's just some inflammation, right? So even things like arthritis, right? Before it was like, oh, it's arthritis. Now we're like, inflammation. Greg, it's like all over the place. Oh, that's inflammation. Ayurveda said this thousands of years ago, right? There's certain things. That's what they call ama. Ama is, remember, they didn't have microscopes, people, right? So they're like, there's gunk, and they called it ama. And that's what's causing your pain, right? They used a different word for it, but it's the same thing. So yeah, check your diet, check what I would do. Because again, I really do want to be helpful. All right. I'm not castigating you. I just think that, especially not you, Gregory, but I think that a lot of us just don't think that food is that important. And I'm like, no, it's your body. It's what makes you who you are. right? It's making your physical body. Like I said, and I'm guilty of that. My worst thing is this, like, I am like, it's sugar, it's sweets. Like, that is my problem. And I actually know how to work with it, but I don't usually do it. I'll just eat, eat the sweets and then I'll have a problem. I'm like, oh my God. So, Greg, check what you ate 2 days ago or the day before. If you started having, like, what did you add into your diet? I'm really curious. You might have started having more mac and cheese. I don't know why I said mac and cheese. You might have started having pork where you didn't have pork. Like, check it. Is it lamb? What did you start having that because I saw this. I don't even want to talk about it because I don't want to upset some people who might have this condition, but I saw someone with a particular condition where I was like, I knew it was dietary, guys, just intuitively. I'm like, there's something that is irritating your body so bad. And Western medicine would never connect that to, you could see the issue she was having. And I was just like, I wish I could talk to her, but obviously it wasn't appropriate. It was a public place. I couldn't really talk to her about this particular condition she was having. And she would have looked at me like, yeah, you're crazy. My doctor says I should just take this or whatever. And it was just really sad. You could tell it was something that would affect this woman's life very negatively. Um, that I'm like, that's something you're putting in your body that is literally irritating your body. So it just made me sad. Yeah, thank you for actually saying that. The quantity, did I mention that? The quantity that we eat. So even when I said, you know what, if it's money for you and you're like, yeah, I can't buy organic, don't buy organic. You don't have to buy organic, but you can still get vegetables, fruit, just wash them, soak them, check it on YouTube, how to rinse off the crap that's on them. It's still better. Um, yeah, but overeating also dulls the mind. Like, that's how it's put, like, dulls your mind. So what does that mean? It means what the West is saying now, which is like, oh yeah, your gut health is linked to your clarity of mind. Like, you can find scientific papers, you guys, talking about that now. Where if I said that 3 years ago, some of you would just be laughing, and certainly like average people would just be like, oh, that's stupid. That's the dumbest thing. Your digestion literally has to do with your intelligence and your ability, not your innate necessarily, but your ability. Like, you can be kind of like, how we talk about a stupor, food coma, or another word too, but I'm not going to say it. I don't want to cause my channel trouble, but like a food stupor, a food coma, right? We've all had that, right? It's just too much food and you're kind of like, right? And you'll be like, oh yeah, that's your blood sugar. It's your blood sugar. And it's just like your body is working really hard. It's taking blood away from where it should go to break down the food. So again, if you want to really have clarity of mind, like I said, with all the craziness around us, right? People just bullshitting, saying stuff not true, watching like groups of people get more and more angry, more and more like they're going nuts. You want to be not that person in the room. So check your diet, more fruits, more vegetables, and if needed, even eat less. Yeah, absolutely. In your 80s. Right, right. You don't feel like you're in your 80s. Stop it. Because I'm sure in your 80s, we don't know what it feels like to be in the 80s. We hope to get there, right? To the 80s. But yeah. So it takes some awareness, and again, that goes back to it takes some mindfulness, because what I see with people, again, friends, myself at different times, but friends observing people, if you eat a really bad diet, and you've already tuned me out if you eat a really bad diet. Why do I say that? I think you would just be turned off. So if you eat a really bad diet, it's hard for you to test what I'm saying, like to test a food. Because say you're allergic, say it is mac and cheese, but your diet overall is bad and you take out the mac and cheese, you may not see a difference. Or you eat a lot of like deep fried foods. We all know that tastes good, right? But as you get more sensitive, one thing I can promise you, those watching, if you start to meditate more and you become more mindful as a result, when you go to eat some of the junk food that you would eat more of, you'll be like, oh yeah, you know what? I don't, especially if it's like something like deep fried, you'll feel your body telling you like, oh no, 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 you've had enough, you know? So yeah, being aware is really important. All right, who wants me to that mindfulness, which is mindfulness means being aware in the present moment in a non-judgmental way of what is happening. Okay. And the more mindful and the more attention we have, it affects every part of our life. So, again, if you are thinking about, if you're on the fence with the soulful mindfulness, go to my website. The link is in the chat and check out. I added 3 new bonuses. And I'm even, yeah, yeah. I always say, it's for women. I think I should just expand that out. I don't know. I don't know if they're most of the times though, taking meditation, it is women anyway. Like typically, whoops, did I close the tab? No, I did not. Okay, cool. But yeah, watch your food. And if you intend to really get, get more spiritual, get your intuition higher, you want to work on your dietary choices. And yeah, our emotions affect our food. I didn't really touch on that, but our way of eating, for many people who eat a poor quality diet, this is pretty deep. It's almost a way to stuff the feelings. Okay, so if you know someone who eats a really just poor quality diet, it's a way, when food is like dead, or what's called tamasic. Tamasic means, yeah, lacking energy, right? Um, so, and what types of foods are that? Again, tamasic foods would be considered meat, typically. Stale food, so any food that's sat around, um, any food that is like a processed food, it doesn't have any life energy in it. That would be tamasic. But sometimes when people are depressed, maybe are you depressed because you're eating tamasic dead food? Or are you eating tamasic dead foods because you're kind of depressed and it maintains, and so your choices are dulled, right? So it's like a chicken or an egg issue. I would say, like, if I were working with someone who was depressed and they've seen their doctor, maybe they've gotten on antidepressants, what I would do is work with improving their diet. And then as they improve their diet, get them exercising. That would be my next step, right? We talk about that, maybe some yoga, but it could be running, could be walking. And then finally, I'd introduce them to meditation. Like that would be my steps. Like if someone is depressed, those are, so let me repeat that again. If you're depressed and you're watching this, after, talking to your therapist and getting on medication, because I think it can be a nice bridge, right, to help you. What I would first, then I would start looking at your diet, putting in more fresh foods, vegetables, more greens, more berries, apples, bananas, more food that has life energy in it. Cut out all your packaged, throw your packaged stuff out of your cupboard. Then I would start some gentle movement, start going for a walk, in a park, in nature, start doing that, do that a month or two. And then after like maybe 2 or 3 months, okay, then you could start meditating, practicing like 5 or 10 minutes, sitting quietly, becoming aware of your breath, right? And you will find, I bet you, if you could keep that up and you were able to get support, keep that up for like 8 or 9 months, you're going to find your depression is improved a lot. Okay. Let me just check one thing. And yeah, any questions, comments, if you're just joining, let me just see one thing. I'm going to, I want to check one thing on YouTube. Okay. All right. Great, great, great. So let me see if there are any questions. And then if not, oh my goodness, I'm seeing that somebody else, I'm going to actually go watch Our Black Utopia. I love that channel. Go check them out. I didn't mean to coincide with their time. I was here first on Sundays, and then more people, like 2 or 3 channels that have some overlap, but go check them out. They're doing something called Escaping America's Toxic Environment, a guide, and it looks like Rick has a mask on. He was sick. Rick is their husband and wife, and they moved to Portugal for a better life. So, if there aren't any questions, just going to give a moment if there are any questions. But Greg, yeah, try some of those tips and just really tune into what you added into your diet recently, and see if you can figure out what's causing it. It almost like might literally be like an allergy, right? We can have like a like not a visible response, like an allergic, not like you break out in hives, right? But you could have a food that bothers you for sure. Actually, real quick, I noticed for years I hadn't had grapes with seeds, and actually specifically Concord grapes, right? Because they're not like the seedless, super sweet ones. So I was like, oh, Concord grapes, it's kind of old fashioned. I don't know, I like those. I tried it, my mouth, I started to like feel tingling in my mouth that I get when I eat shellfish. I'm not supposed to eat shellfish. I don't eat shellfish because I'm like too scared, right? But like the twice I think in my life that I had shellfish, realized, okay, this is an allergy. I had the same thing with Concord grapes. So we can have an allergy to a food that is subtle, such that you don't even notice that you actually are allergic to it. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool. Yeah, Our Black Utopia. Check them out. Check them out, Greg. They moved to Portugal. Oh, and so I have good news. I do have good news. I'll have more good news the next video, God, Goddess willing. You guys know that I did get my American citizenship. I had to wait a couple days, and then I went and got applied for my passport. I can tell it's already processing because they drew the check within like 2 days. I was like, whoa, like America is like speedy, really like impressive. I was like, you got it and you're processing already? Wow. So I'm waiting on my American passport and my Jamaican passport. They finally are like, oh yeah, FedEx doesn't recognize your name. I just want you to know that your passport is here. Such a, a soft Jamaican accent I really like. Not like a heavy, heavy one. It's okay. But like a very, like it's very gentle. So she's like, yes, I'm talking. I'm like, oh my God, you're like 4 weeks late they told me like 14 weeks. Is it? And this is like 20 weeks or some ridiculous, right? So I was like really irritated. But she was so nice. And she's like, yes, FedEx don't recognize your address. And so, and she pauses, and I'm like, okay, do I have to send a pigeon? What do I got to do? Like, hook it to the foot of a pigeon and just send it. Anyway, so we figured it out. It has not arrived. So I will make a video when I have my 2 passports. And then from there, I have actually really great news, is that I received an art grant that will pay my ticket to go abroad to do some research for my art. Yay. I think that's new. I think I had not announced that. I had announced the citizenship. I definitely did that, right? Because the judge was like giving everybody a hug, and well, not a hug, but she was like, okay, take a picture with me. And super nice, super nice. And so, yeah, I just found out 3 days ago I got awarded a grant, money, to go do art research. And specifically, I proposed in Italy. So thank you. I am really happy about it. I really am. I thought I was going to get it because I know I wrote the woman who looks at them. She doesn't make the decision, but she looks at them and she'll help you. And she's like, no, that's really good. It's really good. I like it. I like it. It's clear. And so they gave me, I don't say exactly how much I got, you guys, but it's enough to get a round trip ticket, or at least I think it is. That was the maximum. Actually, no, I didn't get the maximum. I don't know if anybody got the maximum, but yes, yay me, art grant to go to Italy. And so I will have more good news. I'm going to take you guys along with me, not on my laptop. You're on my laptop right now. I'm going to have to figure that out. I may have to buy a better phone. Okay. I may start a fund. I may have to, get a better phone camera, but I hope to take you with me. Like if I go there, I'm taking you guys with me. All right. So much love. I'm going to go see them talk about, you know, life, life be living. So love you guys. Really nice to be here, and many more watch on the replay because a lot of my people are over at Black Utopia right now. Okay. So I'm going to go over there and yeah, maybe I'll see you in the chat, Greg. Check them out. They're a really, really nice couple, older couple. The woman was in politics. And so she's, you know, she's like, was getting burnt out. And her husband, really lovely man. I don't know what he did. I don't think he was in government. And they were able to save up, kind of get their affairs in order on our Black Utopia. And they were able to expatriate, I think that's the right word, to Portugal, and they're loving it. All right. Much love, peace, and blessings. Ask me questions in the comments once the video is not live. And do check out Soulful Mindfulness. If you're a guy and you want to be in there, let me know. Yeah, check it out. Check them out. They're a really cool channel. In fact, let me put the link. Let me see if I can find the link. Hold on. Now the question you may hear, hold on, let me silence that. Okay, I'm gonna put the link right in here. StreamYard. Okay, there's the link to their channel. Now they may have been going for some time, but yeah, go check them out. You could say you came from Yoga Bliss Dance. And so, yeah, I have to watch that I don't coincide with other folks, especially if we might have some overlap in communities. Anyway, my channel is primarily aimed at women. All women are welcome. I think we need to all be able to be in community together, and that we can really be the light, the clarity, the vibration that the planet needs right now. Okay? Much love. Peace and blessings. Bye.